Welcome to Titan Talk, the official podcast of Blessed Trinity Catholic High School. Each episode, we'll take you inside the Titan experience through conversations with the people who know BT best, our students, faculty, coaches, alumni, and campus leaders.
We'll explore the programs, traditions, and opportunities that make Blessed Trinity such a special place, from academics and athletics to arts, faith formation, student life, and beyond.
Whether you're a prospective family exploring your high school options, a current member of the Titan community, or simply curious about what makes BT unique, we invite you to listen, learn, and discover why so many families can truly see themselves here. This is Titan Talk. Welcome home. Welcome to another episode of Titan Talk. Today we're here with our chaplain, Father Evan. Thanks for being here. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
We're excited to get to know a little bit about you and our campus ministry department and how students can get involved in faith life on campus. So just want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what it means to be here full time and what it even means to have a chaplain in a high school, what your role is.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love being a priest. It's one of the things that I started off, I've been ordained now, I'm in my fourth year. And it's one of the things I have kind of been known for, even over when I was at my assignment at St. Peter Chanel, just telling the people how much I love being a priest and how many people have said, like, we've never heard a priest say that. It's like, well, that's really sad. But it's true. I love being a priest. And when I got assigned here full, I originally started out part-time, right. Which was difficult for many reasons, because anybody who's ever done youth ministry knows that you cannot do youth ministry part-time. But when I had the opportunity and it was asked of me, do I want to come over here full time? My heart jumped, because the potential of what takes place in this school, there's no youth ministry program like it. I have access and the ability to walk with and love and help, almost 1,000 kids. And that's one of my favorite things to do. What is so cool about having a Catholic school, particularly one that has a priest in it, is the students, the faculty, the staff, everyone get to experience a side of the church that either some of them, if they're older, grew up with, have good experiences and not so good experiences, right? But there's an idea of like the church becoming real. It's not just something you learn about, it's something you get to experience. And being over here has been really fun. I'm coaching freshman football, the conditioning coach with that.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I get to get out all summer. I've been with the freshman boys as they're coming in, and I know a lot of them from my work over at Queen of Angels. And in the spring, I'll be helping coaching baseball. And what those things allow is the students themselves get to see that the priest is obviously, there's something different about my life than what they're used to seeing. Sure. But when I'm out on the football field, like the same guy that you see celebrating mass or giving a reflection or giving a talk or walking through you in a crisis is also the same guy that's yelling at you to run faster. So what it does is it humanizes the collar, right? Because there's a man behind this. And so it makes you more approachable, and you recognize that when the Lord calls a man to becoming a priest, He's not calling him to be something that he's not. He's calling him as the man that he is. And so it's awesome for the students to be able to see, like, I am who I am, but I am also a priest for you. And that was very powerful in my own life as a young man growing up.
Awesome. Well, I do love that you're spending time with the students, like not just, academics or in the building, but out on the field, mentoring them. That's a really special and unique experience for them, for sure.
And it's been a blast. One of my favorite things that just took place. The varsity got done practicing early before us one day, and they're sitting in the locker room. And one of the boys told me this after the fact. They were sitting in there, and they're like, "Who's that yelling?" And they come. One of the other boys was like, "I think that's Father Evan." So I had all of the varsity boys run out of the locker room to the weight room where I was conditioning the freshman boys, and they were all just standing staring, and they're like, "That's awesome." So it's been a really good way to build those relationships.
Yes, that is awesome, to build those relationships with the students. Again, just, and draw them also to your ministry here on campus, through campus ministry as well. And so now that you are here full time, other than coaching, which I didn't even know that, so that's so exciting to learn. What are some of your goals for campus ministry this year and to continue to grow our faith life here on campus?
Yeah, so one of the big things that we're doing that's different this year and that's very unique to what we have here on campus, because not many Catholic schools have what we have. Here on this campus, you have literally womb to tomb. You have Queen of Angels, you have the preschool over at St. Peter Chanel, you have a thriving parish, you have the high school, and you have the St. George, the retirement home.
Right.
And on this campus, you have the ability to encounter so many different aspects of life. But what's cool about what we have here, the parish being right on campus, normally all of our school masses have been held in our gym, and that's because of just logistics. Well, one of the changes we're making this year is the majority of our masses will actually be over at the church. And the beauty of that is recognizing, one, when you're trying to celebrate Mass, especially for teenagers in a gym where they have pep rallies, it's really hard to separate that reality.
Yeah, I get that.
And so just going and teaching them, what does it mean to go into the sacred, right? To leave behind the normal and to enter into something that is supernatural or super normal, you could say, of entering a sacred space and being able to take a pause from your day-to-day life over here and encounter where the Lord is trying to reach you in your life there. And then hopefully that will bridge the gap between, the Lord doesn't just reach you in the church or reach you when you're doing something with campus ministry or on a retreat. Right. Just like the priest isn't only seen at Mass, he's also seen on the football field. Well, maybe the Lord can also be found on the football field. And so just by changing some of the ways we approach certain things, my hope is that no longer is it just praying and encountering the Lord that way, but it's actually forming the heart to receive. That's a big one. One that I would like to do, and it may not happen this year, is I really have it in my heart to do an all-girls and an all-guys Kairos retreat.
Awesome.
And really giving the opportunities for the ladies to go and experience a weekend just as ladies, wherever the Lord wants to lead them, and then be able to take the guys and do the same thing. And really doing something that, parishes can't really easily do that. And so that could be something that's very unique to what we can offer here as a school. And then by and large, the day-to-day being able to just be available and present. I love popping into classrooms that I wasn't easily able to do when I was part-time. Have my office open just to receive students.
Right.
I told all the freshmen at their orientation, I am a coffee addict, like it's going out of style. It started when I was in the Army. It was awful. I cannot go without it. And so I love to have hospitality in my office, because even if all you do is pop in and get a cup of coffee, or you just pop in and get something that I have there, it's a touch point of being able to say, like, hey, how's your day going? And just having that opportunity, hospitality, and reaching them when they're ready to come and find.
I love that. And there is something to be said about the energy that the students bring into the building, and being able to engage with them outside of the classroom.
Sure.
And just be real. It's awesome. So our school here, we have students that come from over 50 different feeder schools. So not all of our incoming students have been exposed to their faith at school, or maybe even to their faith at all. So those students who are experiencing theology classes for the first time, or just new to having, faith kind of be part of them, what do you hope that they experience or that they take from being here at BT?
The biggest thing is curiosity. What's really interesting about my own background, which one day will be shared with the world, is I was obviously not born a priest. Some people don't believe that, but it's true. I always like to say there is a giant collar, or a giant story behind the collar, and I said I lost all my credibility the moment I had to put this on with students. But it's something to be said. Like, I know what it's like to be in high school. As all of us do. I was not very faithful in my time in high school. I had left the church. I had been trying to do things my own way. And I know what it's like to question. I know what it's like to try to find your way. And I know what it's like to look at all of this and go, it's a lie. I know what it's like to have that reality that is false, but it's one that you believe. And I also know, on the flip side, what it's like for somebody to step into my life who one called me out and actually like went toe to toe with my questions and actually walked with me as I was trying to discover the truth that's out there. And that was life-changing in so many different ways. And so no matter what your background is or where you come from, my hope for any high schooler is that they have a awakening of curiosity that allows them to ask the questions. And the one I love posing to anybody, but particularly high schoolers, is what if? It's probably the most powerful question you could ask. Is you can look at everything that we do here, everything that we are, and you can answer the what if. What if it's false? What if it's a lie? What if all of this is made up? And what are the ramifications if that's true? And I think it's worth wrestling with that question. But I always offer the flip side to anybody I talk to as well. What if it's not? What if it's real? What are those ramifications? Because there is no middle ground. Like even the Lord himself does not allow a maybe, right?
Right.
And so you have to wrestle with what Jesus says. I am who I am, and you are free to choose to believe it or not. So anybody who comes here, anybody who has a background, or anybody who experiences anything in this life, they have to wrestle with the question, what if? And as long as I can get a student to even become curious about the answer to that question, I feel like I've done everything I've needed to do.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And I do love that we are in an environment that allows them to do that.
Yeah.
And creating that space for them to think for themselves and ask the questions and feel safe doing so.
Sure.
So that's absolutely amazing. And so once a student comes here and they kind of do start to explore, their questions a little bit more, dig a little deeper, and have exposure to so many opportunities. That's one of the things I love about our campus ministry program here is that it's not just the masses. It's not just the retreats. You have so many other ways to connect with them and engage them and kind of walk with them on their journey wherever they are at with the Lord. I think that's a really unique component here to Blessed Trinity. So once our students start here and then get to the point where they're seniors and they're graduating and they're ready to go out into the real world, what do you hope that they take with them in that next step outside of this bubble that just kind of provides that safe space for them to dig a little deeper into their faith?
That is interesting. It is good to call it a bubble in so many ways. I grew up not too far from here. I was public schooled, and so just recognizing like being here in a high school. One, I never thought I'd be back in high school, but just recognizing and looking at things through the lens of like going backwards and just like it's even different interactions, and it's so fun to watch and see like, man, what would I have done in this situation, or what wouldn't I have done in that situation? And just being able to kind of relive your own high school experience while walking with them through theirs. I always joke and I say I've never been so into teenage drama as I am now, because now it doesn't affect me, and it's like, no, she didn't, no, he didn't, and it's great. But just what I want for somebody when they leave here, if I could have, besides the curiosity and asking the question, if there's one thing that every person, whether you're an adult that is involved in this school or whether you are a student, is to understand this foundational truth. Because it was one that I needed to learn, and I didn't learn it for a long time. At the end of the day, no matter what you accomplish, what you set out to do, what you find yourself failing at the end of the day, you are a beloved son or daughter of a Father who loves you. And there's a second piece to that. And it was something that I've only recently truly learned, is that Father that loves his son and daughter is a Father who keeps his promises. And it may take time, it may take turmoil, it may take difficulty, but I have seen it over and over and over again, that the Father who calls you by name genuinely and deeply cares about the desire you have in your heart. The hard part is, are you able to name it? And are you willing to let go of how you think it should be fulfilled?
That part.
And that part's really hard. just very briefly, just a little bit of background on my own story. I wanted nothing more than to have my own family, to have my own kids, to have a wife who loved me and called me to something greater. I love saying this too, I wanted to coach Little League. I wanted to get kicked out of Little League. Like, I wanted to do all of those things. And when I first had the invitation to become a priest, I was very angry with the Lord, because I said, you have put on my heart this desire to be a husband, to be a father, to have a family. And you are saying, like, you want me to be your priest, and you're taking that from me. And it was something that I wrestled with for a long time. And it wasn't until I was 2 years into seminary and I had tried to get kicked out from the very get-go. That's a whole different conversation.
That's a different podcast.
Different podcast. Stay tuned. But 2 years in, I'm on this silent retreat, and I am wrestling with the Lord, and I am just angry. And finally, the Lord spoke into my heart as a father speaks to his son, and he said, Evan, if that's what you want, I want that for you. I'm not taking anything from you. If you want a husband, if you want to have a family, if you want to have kids, like, you want to be a good husband, go and do that. And I will love and support you in everything that you are. But if you're willing to sacrifice the thing you desire the most in order to protect it, I have something else for you. And it's not an invitation I extend to every man. So my priesthood is dedicated very directly to helping families, which is why, going back to a father who keeps his promises, my first year here, I was on the baseball field. And, once again, I'm out here in this place, and I'm throwing catch with the boys, and, I used to pitch, and I can't throw anymore, so all the kids make fun of me. It's great. It really helps my ego and pride.
As I'm like, no one's going to call you out like a high schooler.
Oh, gosh, it's awful.
Great.
It's awful. But I'm out there, and I'm just, throwing catch with them, and they run off to go get ready for their practice, and I'm just sitting there walking the field for a moment, and the Lord prompts my heart. And he says, Evan, I want you to pause for a moment. I want you to just take it all in for a minute. So I stopped, and I just started looking around. And then I literally hear like laughter. I hear laughter, and I'm like, why? And I'm pretty used to the Lord laughing at me, to be honest with you. But I hear laughter, and I'm like, why are you laughing at me? And he goes, do you see where you are right now? And I just paused for a moment. And the Father, in a very particular way, spoke in my heart. He said, Evan, do you see what you get to do? And do you see how you wanted this from the very beginning? It doesn't look like how you thought it would be, but look at what you get to do. Yeah. And there I was like, I am literally out here on this field, being, not an actual baseball coach in that way, because they're way better than I ever was, but just, I get to be in the very space that my heart desired, not with my own kids, but with kids that are mine.
Right.
And
still
once
mentoring,
again,
still coaching.
And that was the moment where, after all of that, and I just took it in, that the Father in my heart said those words, I am a father who keeps his promises. And so it was a very eye-opening moment for me, that the Lord is still even working on my own heart, even as his own priest, of saying, like, I care about you as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And yeah, it's just kind of showing how you can still live out your faith.
Sure.
But still fulfill those dreams that are in your heart always.
Sure.
So yeah, there is something great about working in a high school environment. We love having you here full time. We're excited to see all the changes and the growth that comes from Faith Life here on campus. Definitely looking forward to having masses at St. Peter Chanel. So yeah, we're excited to have you here. And our students are really lucky. And I did go to a Catholic high school, and campus ministry played a huge role in my time in high school.
Yeah.
And so I get excited just seeing students at the different levels in their journey from where they are. And I think back to myself, right? Like you were saying, you reflect back on who you were in high school and look at the opportunities now and think, oh gosh, if I knew then what I know now.
Well, and that's the thing that everybody has to realize, and you probably understand that too. Like, you plant seeds that you will probably never see the fruit of.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, we don't do this to walk with students hoping that they go from being a knucklehead freshman to being a saintly senior. I've never expected that in any iota of my life.
Right.
But my hope and my prayer is that even if you had that student that was angry throughout their whole time here, that was wrestling, that was bucking the system, whatever it is, that at some point in their life, they look back and they go, they loved me in a way, and they never gave up on me, because at the end of the day, another podcast, that was my story. Is I had people that invested in me at a time when I was not worthy of being invested in. And to be a priest today, to be able to do that, like, it just shows that you never know what the fruit of that labor that each one of us partake in, what it can accomplish in this life.
That's awesome. And to know that these are some of those core memories and experiences that they're going to take with them far beyond their time here at BT.
Yeah.
So that's just so important to the values and the mission that we work on here every single day.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you so much for your time.
You're very welcome.
We're excited
Thank you.
to have you. And again, look forward to all the great things that are to come from campus ministry and for our students. It really is a huge part of who we are here at Blessed Trinity. So thanks so much for tuning in to Titan Talk. Be sure to stick around for the next episode.